subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. Hi everyone, my name is Anita and I welcome you all on Inkpothub Media once again. Today I'm going to be with Professor Kiran Pedada, who is working as an assistant professor of marketing and a BAT research fellow at the Indian School of Business. And I'm very proud to say here that Inkpothub is also incubated at AIC ISB Mohali. So please join along with me and welcome Professor Kiran. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. And I'm so happy that you accepted our request for this interaction.
Yeah, thank you, Anita. Thank you very much for the invitation. I feel really honored to get an invitation from Inkpothub. And I also feel very proud that this was incubated in ISB. So, I mean, we all are from the same family.
So I traveled to ISB Mohali many times before COVID. So I would love to come again and meet you in person as well. So
Sure, definitely.
thank you. Sir, your journey is very, very impressive. And and my entire team worked around the profile, searched for the details and all. So you come from a very small background and small town and small village. And then you did your engineering and then worked with Jindal Steel and then moved to a very interesting profile in consultancy. Uh, then something happened and then you entered in academia. Your mentor supported you. I need to know this kind of work which is very unique, this kind of background which is very unique. Tell me more about it. So we really want to know how this journey has been and what motivated you eventually to shift in academia, do your research after so much of years of experience in corporate. So tell me more about it, sir. We all are here to listen to you.
Yeah, sure, Anita. Yeah, I think so. I have never planned to become an academic as such. As you said, I was born and brought up in a small village in Srikakulam district in Andhra, and I mean, it was a very small village that you don't have English medium schools, and also you have to go to government school. And English was introduced in seventh standard, and you started studying in English when you come to undergrad. So that's the kind of background. So it has been quite adventurous, I would say, to go from that village to study engineering. And then I would say my real life started after engineering. Okay, so that's when my real learning started. So I finished my BTech in mechanical engineering, and then I worked in a steel plant in Tarapur, yeah, very close to Bombay. And so after I got that job, I got exposed to a lot of interesting things. Although Tarapur was about, I think, 100 kilometers from Mumbai city, but I had some family relatives in Mumbai, so I used to go and meet them. And our head office was also in Mumbai, so I used to go there once in a while. So I used to travel in the local trains. It's again an adventure to travel in the local trains in Mumbai. So that's, I think, those travels and all taught me a lot of things about life. Okay, so I met many interesting people in those local trains and all. I used to learn a lot from people. So that's when I came to know about opportunities in management consulting, etc. So as a mechanical engineer, I applied to an engineering and management consulting firm called Mott MacDonald. And given my mechanical engineering background and also given my work experience in steel plant, they hired me to do consulting projects for steel companies, cement companies, and other, I would say, industrial kind of setups. I worked there for about 1.5 or 2 years, and then I got an opportunity to work with Mater's infrastructure in the corporate strategy department.
Mhm.
So I would say Matus has changed my life. Okay, what has happened with Satyam
Uh-huh.
computers and all, right? So I think that time has given me, um, a lot of learning because I introspected. So Satyam, because of whatever has happened there, we all had to leave the company. Matters. Okay, so I was jobless for about 10 months.
Okay.
So I think that is the time that was crucial in my career. So,
Mhm.
and but during that period, like from Mumbai to I would say Matas infrastructure in Hyderabad. So I met a lot of people and
Mhm.
who have helped me to be what I am today.
Mhm. So, sir, tell me more about your PhD journey. How you thought of doing your PhD after this corporate experience? What was that
Right.
turning moment?
Right. So the PhD journey or broadly academic journey started when I lost my job at Matus. So when I was jobless for about 10 months, I used to go and attend interviews. But very soon after the interview, I used to understand that they were inviting me to know more about what has happened in Matus rather
Uh,
than to give me a job.
mhm.
And I used to get some offers. They were also not very interesting as such because given that I didn't have an option, I was not also getting reasonable offers. So I kind of I sat down and thought about what I really want to do in my life.
Mhm.
Okay, that's when I kind of realized that I'm interested in teaching.
Mhm.
Okay, so I started teaching in places like Symbiosis Institute of Business
Okay.
Management and Nasimonji as a visiting teacher. And then I also applied for a research associate position at ISB. I
Mhm.
knew that that is a good, I would say, starting point to get into a PhD program in the US.
Mhm.
So I used to do these two things parallelly.
Mhm.
And in ISB, as you know, ISB is visited by a lot of visiting faculty as
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
from US schools and other international schools. And in Matus, I worked with a marketing professor, Srinivas Reddy.
Okay.
So Srini was a professor at University of Georgia, and then he came to Matus to head the corporate strategy department. And so I ended up being a student of Srini Reddy.
Okay.
So at Texas Tech, yeah.
Mhm. So that was your
So
journey,
my
and then
PhD, yeah, has started. I would say Matus was the starting point. Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
very interesting because those times when we feel very low, and then those are the
Yeah.
times when we bounce back and see that there's a huge potential in us, and the entire world is welcoming us to grab those opportunities in different ways. So at
Exactly.
times we feel very low in these tough times, but I think those tough
Yeah.
times are the ones who makes us. So it happened with you. So okay, now coming back to your academia. So you joined ISB
Yeah.
Hyderabad, and you wanted to give back to your um, institute. You wanted to give
Right.
back to the country, and you performed a lot of different type of roles. You are a researcher, you are a writer, you are a teacher, and you have written so many papers in A star and A category journals. So which role do you think that you are very close to, as teacher, a writer, or a researcher?
So I think my passion is teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I came to this profession actually. So in fact, before starting PhD, I didn't have very much understanding of research as such. Of course, I was exposed to a little bit of research in as a research associate. Used to collect data and analyze data, etc. But I think the real research career started when I started my PhD program. So I was very lucky to be taught by some of the best professors like Dr. Shelby Hunt. So I learned marketing theory from him.
Okay.
And I was also very fortunate to take courses in methods and all from some of the best professors in those areas. For example, I learned econometrics from Professor Peter Westphal. He is like who is who in statistics. And then at the same time, I got tremendous support from my mentor, Professor Venki Shankar from Texas A&M University. So he has also been my dissertation committee member. So all these people have really taught me what is research. But if you ask me what role I love the most, it is teaching, because I believe that we create knowledge to share with students, and also we get a lot of interesting ideas from our discussions with students as well. So for example, I take my research to my classroom and I ask students, okay, why do you think this is happening like that? So I get very interesting perspectives, and sometimes students will give you ideas for research as well. So, and most of my projects are like that. So those are born out of my discussions with students or some managers, rather than my discussions with my academic colleagues, I would say.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. So I think those classroom interactions are giving you more ideas. So which research project on emerging markets you are right now focusing, um, and what kind of potential you see in the this kind of research in the future, maybe in another
So
10 years.
yeah, coming to emerging markets, that has been my focus, given my background as well. So in consulting and corporate strategy, etc. So my dissertation was also focusing on emerging markets, looking at alliances between emerging market firms and developed market firms. And at this point in time, I'm working on multiple projects. Some of them are specific to emerging markets, but others are also broader in nature. So coming to emerging markets, one of the projects I'm looking at is when emerging market firms actually go and acquire brands from the developed markets, like Tata acquired Jaguar. So how does it impact Tata's value, and also under what conditions Tata can gain more value? Okay, so that is something I'm studying as far as emerging markets is concerned. But otherwise, these days I'm also very much interested in marketing transformations, okay, or transformative marketing, digital transformations. So I believe down the line 10 years, I think that is the area that is going to actually gain a lot of traction. It has already gained a lot of traction, but going forward, we'll see a lot more work on transformative marketing.
Okay. So I have a question here, which is more of a philosophical kind of, because your
Sure.
journey is very interesting. And if you have to name your biography, what name would you give to your biography?
So um, I would I would say a practice inspired scholar.
Practice
Yeah,
inspired scholar, very interesting.
yeah.
So one more question which I have around again on philosophical ground, a moment in your life when you felt the lowest in your life, as you have already mentioned about those
Right.
dips,
Right.
career wise?
Right.
Anything else which you would like to share? And how did you overcome those feelings of um, those low feelings? Because scholars
Right. So,
generally feel, in scholarly journeys, we feel loneliness at times. So, do you have any
right.
mechanism over there?
Yeah, like you said, as a scholar, you tend to feel low many times. For example, you spend a lot of time collecting very difficult difficult to collect data as such.
Hmm.
And especially when, I work on problems that are very practical in nature, therefore, I tend to hand collect data quite a lot of times. So,
Or is it?
and when you don't have access to data, or even after you collect the data, that's not sufficient, etc. I think uh, we tend to feel a little low, for sure. In my personal, life, when did I feel low? I think maybe it was the latest time I felt the most.
Uh-huh.
I used to apply for jobs and I was rejected in many places, etc.
Okay, so some light bites, because these are some serious conversations. So I would love to know about your passion, about your hobby. Where do you spend your time apart from
Sure.
your teaching or research? Tell
Right.
me more about it.
So my passion is, it is again. So I'm most passionate about philosophy, actually,
Okay.
and especially Indian philosophy.
Hmm.
So I spend a lot of time reading Indian philosophy.
Okay. So which
So,
book would you
so
recommend on Indian philosophy?
yeah, so I actually I read quite a few authors
Uh-huh.
as such. My most favorite is G.T. Krishnamurthy.
Okay.
So, so I actually, so I really like uh, his dialogues with other scientists and physicists, biologists, etc. So those are all available on.
Mm-hmm.
I read quite a few other
Hmm.
works also.
Okay. Are you a tea person or a coffee person?
I am a green tea person. So,
Okay. And do
to
you
be
love
precise, yeah.
green tea? Okay. And do you like mountains or sea?
I like mountains.
Okay. So what is your go-to snack?
Oh, go-to snack is cashew nuts.
All right. What is that one piece of advice to young scholars?
Yeah. So one piece of advice to young scholars is be stay true to what you're doing essentially. So I think this is what I learned from my professors also, that if we want to be successful in research, two things are very, very important. One is uh, passion, and second one is perseverance, essentially, right? So, and if we are really doing something that we are really passionate about, I think we'll pursue that for a long time. So my suggestion is that investigate things that you are really passionate about, rather than investigating for the sake of investigating. So because if we investigate for the sake of investigating, it leads to distortion. So we cannot really keep it up for a very, very long time. So identify what you are really passionate about. I think one good thing about academia is that we have the freedom to choose what we want to work on.
True.
Okay, so and also we can actually, we have time to really think through the problem and get the required data and all. I know, as you rightly said, there COVID has really um, been a very difficult time for all of us. But I think we are hopefully in a few months or so, we will be back to normal. I think we are slowly getting back to normal. And yeah, so we'll be able to be a little bit more productive. But as long as we focus on things that we really want to do, I think the journey will be much more interesting and fruitful. Yeah.
I believe so. And I'll definitely suggest to watch your advice to young potential scholars and young scholars, because I have found them lost the most in these COVID times, because they feel restless and they feel lost. So thank you so much, sir. And I'm really happy. And anytime when I am in Mohali or Hyderabad, I'm going to meet you if you are around. Where can I find you, like in Mohali or in Hyderabad?
Yeah, so I most of the time is spent in Mohali.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, definitely we can
Huh.
meet in Mohali. Yeah.
Certainly. Very, very soon. Very soon. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you.
It's great to see you all here. Thank you for watching our work. If you have not subscribed to Inkpothub Media, then please hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel and support research celebrations in India.